Hi, I'm Richard Watts, founder of HR Maritime. Welcome to Commodity Brief, the show all about commodity trading in partnership with Duke's Copy TV. This is the first of a three-part episode where we're going to be looking at the different types of vessels which are used for transporting commodities around the world. So first we're going to be looking at dry cargo vessels, then we're going to be looking at tankers for transporting oil, and then we're going to be looking at container ships which are carrying a tremendous number of cargoes around the world at the moment. So when we're looking at dry cargo vessels, these vessels are designed to carry a very wide range of cargoes. So we have cargoes such as project cargoes, where we have specific items for building a factory or something around the world. Then we have bagged cargoes such as bagged rice, which might be transported to West Africa, all the way up to very large cargoes of iron ore and coal, where we might have 150 or even 400,000 tons on board of the vessel. So the vessels can be split down into different size ranges. And so the easiest way to look at this is, first of all, we have what is called a handy-size vessel. This is about 20,000 up to 45,000 tons of cargo. Now, these vessels are designed to carry cargoes between slightly less developed ports. They are normally servicing ports which do not have cranes in the ports, and so they have cranes on board of the vessels, and they can carry a very wide range of cargoes, and so they're designed to be very versatile. Otherwise, we move on and we can look at Panamax vessels. Panamax vessels, we're looking at about 45,000 tons up to 80,000 tons. As the name suggests, these are the largest vessels that can go through the Panama Canal due to the limitation of the locks. Now, that being said, there's the enlargement of the Panama Canal at the moment, and so larger vessels are going to be able to go through. But we can see on this vessel, we can see first of all there are no cranes, and so we can see that the holds, the idea is that we just load the cargo straight into it using terminals on land, and so we are going to be using different ports where we have this infrastructure actually on the berth. And so here we're talking about goods such as grain, corn, different items such as that. And then as we move up, we get to Capesize. Capesize are called Capesize because they must travel around the Cape of Good Hope because they are too large to transit the Suez Canal when fully laden. These vessels are 80,000 tons up to 150,000 tons, and they are predominantly carrying iron ore and coal. And so these vessels tend to be carrying this cargo towards China, and they are loading purely bulk, homogeneous cargoes, poured in and taken out using grabs. So whenever we're looking at the freight market for dry cargo vessels, these are the different areas. I mean, we can see here, in fact, in pink, more stable at the bottom, we have the handy size. This is more stable because this is the type of the vessels which can be used for many different types of cargoes. And so if there's less demand for one cargo, then there might be more demand for a different type of cargo, and so the prices, the freight rates for these vessels will not be quite so volatile. Then we see the next in pink, and this is the Panamax vessels, so the largest size that can fit through the Panama Canal, and these can still carry quite a large range of cargoes, but are still much more volatile than the rates that we are seeing for the handy size. And then as we move on to Capesize, in green, we can see that the rates are much more volatile, and this is because they can only carry effectively two types of cargo, iron ore and coal, and so when the demand for either of these two cargoes increases or decreases, then we see a massive swing. As we can expect, August in 2008, we saw a massive drop. And freight markets, the cost of a Panamax vessel went from about $200,000 per day to about $15,000 per day. So when we're dealing with these types of vessels, we also have huge cargoes such as the iron ore. And so we've mentioned this before, Vale decided to build these vessels which can compete on the market and carry 400,000 tons of cargo on board of one vessel. Now, these vessels have many different specific parts about them. They are built for the markets that they service. And so one of the most important is the cranes. And so we see that this vessel has cranes on board. As I said, then it can use its own cranes and it can operate in ports which do not have cranes available. And we also have many other elements towards a vessel which are required for different types of cargo. And so that brings us to the end of this episode. Next we'll be looking at tankers, and we'll be looking then at container ships. So thank you for watching Commodities Brief in partnership with Dukascopy TV. Please click back soon.